Prime Minister Narendra Modi, amid chants of Vande Mataram and Jai Hind, they're committing that Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose will be celebrated over the next 3 days at Kartavya Path with a drone show towards the evening. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also saying that this is equivalent to the Prana Pratishtha of an Atmanirbhar Bharat that breaks away from the shackles of colonialism and works towards a commitment where every single citizen puts India first. The country is the Pratham Dharma or duty calling. That's what the Prime Minister has outlined, even as he said that more than 111 years of colonial history has now been literally consigned to the annals of history, because going forward, India and the world will know this region, this area in the national capital as Kartavya Path. He also outlined that how do you expect those who are supposed to govern, those who are supposed to serve the people and work for the betterment of the country, how would they do that if they were always walking on the Rajpath or King's Way with a mentality to rule? That has to be shed, and the mentality to serve has to be spoken about. He outlined that ever since his government and he has come into power, the effort has been to try and make it about people, about Lok Kalyan, about Jan Kalyan, and how Racecourse Road turned Lok Kalyan Marg, and 7 RCR, the residence of the Prime Minister, became 7 Lok Kalyan Marg. He's gone ahead and also thanked the Shramjeevis, all those artisans. We had spoken to Arun Yogiraj, the chief sculptor who sculpted this brilliant granite statue of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose weighing 60 tons out of 280 tons of solid granite. That story was also outlined. And he celebrated the Shramjeevis, those people who have put in their effort in the building the statue and also working on the Kartavya Path, and has invited all of them and their families as the Prime Minister's special invitees for the 26th January Republic Day celebrations coming up in 2023. He has said that this will be a reminder to the people the glory of our country and what India can achieve through the day and in the evening, as decorated beautifully and shining like this. The top of the India Gate adorned in the tricolour, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose's 28 feet tall statue, 6 feet wide. That is what is now present there, that starts or marks the beginning of this beautiful Kartavya Path. Tuhin Sinha of the BJP will be joining us, Professor Badri Narayan, historian and author, with us, Neeraj Attri, author of The Brainwashed Republic, with us, and Chandrachur Ghose, historian, with us. Netaji Amar Rahe is what Prime Minister Narendra Modi ended his address with, Chandrachur Ghose. It will be a proud moment to those who have been fighting, striving along with members of the family to also get recognition to the man who actually championed the thought of Azad Hind, and also the fact that made the people of the country realize that you have to fight for what is yours and fight for your freedom. He also made a mention, the Prime Minister Chandrachur Ghose, of the Andaman Islands. He said, I have gone there, those very islands that were first freed from the shackles of colonial rule.
Very true, Anand, very true. And one has to give credit to this government, to Mr. Modi, for accomplishing those things which have been neglected for 7.5 decades. And today's event, setting up the statue there, that grand, amazing statue there, is a statement. It's a bold statement. It's a statement that alters, that changes the course of the traditional narrative that we have been fed upon for the last 7 decades. And it makes an announcement without saying much about the central role of Netaji, perhaps the stellar role that he played in the decision of the British Raj to make a hasty retreat just 2 years after the Second World War ended. And that probably would not have happened so soon, so quickly, if it were not for him and his INA that also led to the mutinies in the Royal Indian Air Force and the Royal Indian Navy. And that is what shook them, shook their confidence, made them realize that they had lost the loyalty of the Indian soldiers and they could not hold on to the empire anymore. And that is a direct, I would say, a challenge to the traditional criticism of that India won her independence through non-violence, through just love and affection, that we told them to leave and they left out of love. it was not so. I mean, it's not world history, politics, diplomacy doesn't work that way, and needed to be removed. And with today's installation of the statue and placing the statue, the symbolism, the mere symbolism of the fact, the location and the magnitude of the statue is just amazing. It says a lot. In the coming days, the implications will be visible, understandable, comprehensible in the coming days and through the next generations. It's a very, very far-reaching
Yeah.
achievement.
As beautiful as his closing was, the opening was also very stirring, Neeraj, where he said that this is also the Prana Pratishtha, or bringing to life a new India. Not a facelift, but what he turned around and said is that this is the beginning of a new era, marks the beginning of a Pran Pratishtha, of putting into life a new vision, a new Bharat. A very strong statement that's come from the Prime Minister as he saluted that the statue of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, and also talks about the shift in posture and attitude of us as a country.